Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. Very early morning it is. It's 1:06 a.m. So, not proud of the time, but not having to work tomorrow and being, still late Sunday night for me. This is sort of the routine. Well, don't want it to be the routine, but it's where we're at right now. Back at the house, obviously. Astros with the West Coast 3 o'clock start time. Really not enough time to get the podcast done at work tonight, so we're here. Only should be pretty short actually tonight because or I should say this early morning, but only 3 games to talk about, so shouldn't be too bad here. Astros did exactly what they needed to do. By the way, it's Monday morning, July 22nd, 2024, just to put that in there. But, yes, Astros exactly what they needed to do. They took 2 of 3. That's the goal in every series, really, especially against the Mariners. They needed a good series against them after losing 5 of their first 7 this year, as they lost 2 of 3 back in Houston early this year, and then they dropped 3 of 4, I think, on Memorial Day week, start of the week. I think it was Memorial Day. I want to say it was, yeah, that sounds right. So, yeah, and then last year they were 4-9 against the Mariners. So, obviously they're going to have to sweep the Mariners in their final series to actually win the series this year. But they've already won 4 games, which that matches their total all of last year. So, yeah. But that's sort of the competition right now in the division. The division's very bad, okay? And the Astros are technically a few percentage points in first place, but they're 5 games over 500. So it's not like, this is the worst division of baseball by a mile, but it's just the luck of the draw, I guess. There's nothing the Astros, they could play better. That's one way to get over that, but yeah, they gotta, they've already arrived in Oakland, and they gotta get ready for the 3-game set starting tomorrow, 8 o'clock. So we'll be ready to go for that. But yeah, so the Mariners' issue, had been until today was they couldn't score runs. They had great pitching, bullpen I think is good enough. They could add probably another arm back there, but they're starting pitching. All 5 of their guys are pretty good. So, you go up and down with Castillo, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, and it was a Brian Wu pitched today who looked really good. So, I'd have 5 legit starters, I feel like, in their rotation, and they've all stayed healthy. So, yeah. But it's been their offense. In fact, today I just learned, I was watching ESPN, they apparently put Ty France on waivers. So, I don't know how that necessarily works. I think he's still with the team, but people are allowed to make sure. I don't know how that works. You can release people, you can designate people for assignments, and then you can place them on waivers. But when you place a guy on waivers, you still own him, and he's still playable, I think. So, I don't know how that works. I thought he'd be interesting. Like, the Astros could use a first baseman. I don't think they want to. John Singleton's not a long-term answer at first base, and that's something that they could definitely use. Ty France would be an interesting player. Has not played particularly well this year. Really, nobody in the offensive side for Seattle has, but he'd be an interesting name. Guy that historically has killed the Astros, to be quite honest with you. I think his numbers against the Astros have been pretty good. Probably cooled off the last year or two, but Ty France used to be a nemesis early on, I felt like. His early playing days with the Mariners against the Astros. So, but Friday's game, Astros, Hunter Brown gets the start out of the All-Star break. It was great, 6 scoreless. So, he had that one start in Minnesota a couple weeks ago, where he struggled, gave up, it wasn't a good start. But got through 6 innings to eat up, a few innings after for the bullpen after a bullpen game the prior day there. So, but other than that one Minnesota start, he was so good before that, and then he sort of bounced back after that. So, good start. Hunter Brown still working that ERA down. I mean, keep in mind, it was up to like 9 at one point. You know, his first like 5-6 starts of the year were awful. I mean, they were just all bad. But the ERAs worked back down to 4. I think it's 4.14, I think, when I looked at it after the start there on Friday. I'll get this right for you here. Just 1 second. Offense didn't do a whole lot. They scored all their 3 runs in 1 inning. But yeah, Brown now 8-6 to 4.14. But yeah, not a whole lot of offense, but the Astros did enough. Altuve had was it a bunt single that scored a run? I think that sounds right. I don't know. I'm gonna look at this replay. If this these commercials are always tough, but I gotta make sure here. Yeah, it was a bunt single. No, that didn't score the run. Oh, okay. Bunt single, then the throwing error scored the first run. And I think Diaz had a 2-run single. That was all the runs the Astros scored. Hunter Brown and your 7-8-9 Montero, Presley, Hader combination. Actually, that's probably the best they've looked all year. I mean, it was a 1-2-3, 1-2 like that. That's the 7-8-9 you've been expecting to see. It was pretty much shut down. 3 up, 3 down innings. Of course, playing the Mariners helps a little bit there, but yeah, the big story there I think was definitely Hunter Brown's effectiveness once again. Saturday actually fall behind, so he did take a 1-0 lead on a Jeremy Pena infield single. And then Rodriguez hit the 2-run home run off of Framber Valdez. Gives them a 2-run lead, but the Astros respond right away in the 7th inning, I believe. Jake Myers' big 2-run shot going Oppo Taco. And then Yainer Diaz hits a solo home run to give them an insurance run, win that game 4-2. Again, same combination. I think Framber goes 5 2/3, so he needed help getting out of the 6th there. Might be Taylor. Let me see. I can't remember. Got this fight. Yeah, Taylor Scott. I can't even remember Taylor Scott coming into the game, but apparently he did. And he got the final out of that 6th inning, and he got the win. But Abreu, Presley, Hader. Now, Abreu did walk a guy, picked the guy off, struck out 2, and then Presley was helped by 2 just magnificent catches by Trey Cabbage and Joey Loperfido. And then Hader, who walked a guy, 3-ball count, walked a guy on a pitch clock violation, which was argued by him, Josh Miller, Joe Espada. Espada goes out there now. I don't think I knows about Joe Espada. Even today, numerous times, felt like goes out there. He gives the umpires an earful. He's not shy about airing some people out now. And I like the fire under Joe Espada now. Because early on, he wouldn't go out there, and everything he'd go out and talk to the umpires was very cordial. I feel like now he goes out there, he's not afraid to, tell him how he feels. Like today, he was very frustrated on a play. Actually, it was ruled correctly. Astros had 1st and 3rd, nobody out. And I think it was Diaz. I want to say it was Diaz who had a line drive, or it might have been Bregman. I think it was Bregman. He had a line drive to the shortstop, J.P. Crawford, and he dropped it, which was smart because it was a line drive, but he basically hit his glove, fell, and since it was so hardly hit, they were able to turn the double play. And anyway, it was a weird play. It was ruled correctly, so Joe Espada was in the wrong. He did not, but he went out there and really argued. So Espada's been doing that, but I like that. I like that Joe Espada more than the early Joe Espada. So. But yeah, it was a line drive, and it hit off Crawford's glove, and then he picked it up and turned the double play. But if you catch that ball in the air, which is probably the way to go, it's what you usually would do, but you only get 1 out on the play. And of course, the guy at 3rd has to hold because it's a line drive. You have to wait for the ball to get through or hit the ground before you, make any sudden movement, whether it's back to the bag or towards home plate. So But that was a weird play today. And the Astros struggled. Ronel Blanco's line could have been better. To just wrap up, put a bow on Saturday real quick. So Framber at 5 2/3. Taylor gets the one out to get through to 6th. Gets the win, and then Brayu, Presley, Hader. Put a bow on that game today. I wish Ronel was a little bit better. I don't like, so he got pulled. He went 5 2/3 as well. He got pulled without being able to finish off the 6th inning, which, Martinez came in and sort of screwed up his line, I feel like. So Blanco suffers a loss, ends up with 4 earned runs, but it could have been better. And the Astros probably win if Seth Martinez doesn't blow it. Giving up the 3-run home run. One of those runners was Blanco's. That's the 4th run there. Martinez finishes off the 6th and pitches the 7th, but not good for him. 3 runs. 2 of them were earned, or 2 of them were his people. Struck out 1, walked a guy, but the 1 home run there to Luke Raley. That was sort of the big home run, really the difference in the game. I look at Martinez, and he's got a 2.74 ERA, so overall that's good. Dubin comes in, scoreless 8th, and then, of course, the Astros lose 6-4. Storyline, from a hitting standpoint, Alvarez hits for the cycle in a losing cause, so kind of a cool thing, I guess, but I'd take a win over someone hitting for the cycle any day of the week. So, but kind of Altuve hit for the cycle last year. Usually you don't get back-to-back years where people hit for the cycle, but because before that it was 2013 when Brandon Barnes did it I think. So, but back-to-back cycles, years with Altuve last year, Alvarez this year. So, but Alvarez was really the only one who played pretty well offensively. I felt like I know McCormick, who big strikeout in a big spot. Also had an RBI single. And the Astros scored. So Alvarez had a home run, of course. Also had an RBI triple. McCormick RBI single. They scored another run on a Jeremy Pena. I won't even look there. Jeremy Pena hit a solo shot as well. So, 2 solo home runs. And then, Alvarez RBI triple and McCormick RBI single. Score your 4 runs, but really, Seth Martinez could be to blame for this game, but I'm not gonna tear him down. So anyway, but you did a kind of bittersweet today. Well, nothing sweet about today, because you could have finished off the sweep, couldn't do it. But you're tied again for the division lead. Not a very good record. 52-47, not terrible, but that's not a division leading type of record. So you gotta start to win some games here, get going. But you got Oakland. That's a good opportunity there. Again, 2 or 3 is the goal. That'll be the goal going in. So, And Texas lost 2 or 3 to Baltimore over the weekend, so they're down out 5 games in the division. So, interesting with Texas. They play Chicago for 4, the White Sox coming up here. So, and they got to take 3 or 4 at the bare minimum to, They're right in the interesting area. Do I buy? Do I sell? They're sort of, the next week or 2 is really going to make that determination. So, yes. But so, wrap things up there. I'm curious, so it'll be Bloss, I think, Eric Getty, I guess, tomorrow. See that, Eric Getty tomorrow, Bloss on Tuesday. Back to the top. So we'll see. These are your 2 lower guys. You're facing Oakland, though. It shouldn't be a tough a matchup. But, I'm going to wrap things up there. Not much more to talk about. Injury front, still waiting. Not a whole lot of news on Tucker, Verlander. Those are the 2 guys you're looking at right now. I'm not going to really... Obviously, McCullers is just not even a thought anymore. And Garcia threw a bullpen. Caratini, a guy I haven't brought up all year. Victor Caratini's been out for like a month now. I think he'll be activated tomorrow. And I think Salazar is the odd man out for that 26th roster spot. So I think Caratini will be back tomorrow because I think that was the plan for him to join the team in Oakland. If it's not tomorrow, I'd guess it's Tuesday, but that was the update we got Sunday or Saturday, whenever it was. But I think Garcia's back on schedule. I think he threw a bullpen. I think Verlander threw a bullpen as well, so they might be actually coming back around the same time. I'm still not convinced Verlander makes it back, but that's sort of where I'm at. So, but on the injury front, there's no breaking news I can give you other than Caratini should be back. Should be back tomorrow. So, yeah, I didn't bring up Caratini at all. And Salazar played pretty good, but for some reason Salazar hasn't played. I haven't seen Salazar for weeks. It feels like so. I mean, Diaz has been in there every day, I feel like, so that's interesting. But Salazar, in the very limited playing time he got, was actually pretty productive with the bat. So, but yeah, we'll see how things shake out here. But you'll have 3 off day, and then you come back home to face the Dodgers. So that'll be fun, of course. It'd be nice to take 2 or 3 and 2 or 3. So, anyway. Wrap things up there. We'll talk to you next Sunday evening. Be the goal. Yeah.